realizing lately in this good month that there have been a lot of things in my life that I would not have stopped doing or taken an extended break from if it wasn't for that Rona. If it wasn't for the pandemic, if it wasn't for the necessity to keep myself, my son, and my husband safe, if it wasn't forced by the shutdown and all of the quarantining, and if it wasn't forced by the concerns and border closings, etc. Y'all understand what I'm saying? Things would not have stopped in the fashion. And I know I'm not the only person that has that experience. All of us can pretty much say we would have been doing what we would have been doing in September, October, November, December of 2020. We would have been doing it without any interruption, or without any major interruption like this, globally, culturally, socially, as a collective. And I have found that to be very evident in my life. But one of the things that I have noticed is, because of this extended break, I have almost, what I'm in the back of my mind considering, detoxed from some things. And I don't think they are going to ever pick back up in the same fashion that they were when I was doing them before this all started. So here's an example that's not related but related. I used to love to eat sugary things and carb laden things, and probably 4, 5, 6, I don't know, years ago, I realized that I had a better experience when I limited the amount of gluten that was in my food. And so I went gluten-free in my food several years ago. I'm gonna guess 5, I don't know. And it made a huge difference. Then I learned about eating keto, with healthy keto, not just a bunch of cheese and fat, but heavy on the vegetables, heavy on the meats, moderate proteins, heavy on the vegetables, healthy fats. If you're interested, look up Dr. Berg on YouTube. I pretty much follow what he told me to do. And when I changed that in my life, it basically lifted my depression. The depression that I had been diagnosed with, the major depressive disorder that I had been diagnosed with for 20 years, and that I had taken medication for in past, I just assumed it was a thorn in my flesh that would never go away. I started eating differently, and it went away. Now, it went away physiologically, of course, but we are also a 3-part being, so I had to do the spiritual work, and I had to do the mental work to lift it. And even though I did that, at times things can trigger it, but it's not the way it used to be, because the physiological is entirely different. Anyway, the point is, when you start eating like that, you also stop eating sugars. You just have to stop. Carbohydrates will convert into sugars, into glucose in your system. When you stop eating all of those carbs, your sugar dependency lowers, your insulin situation starts to regulate and heal. You become less insulin resistant, blah, 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 right? That's not what this video is about, but I'm going somewhere, as the pastors say. So let me get there, and then let me go do this on laundry. So I also lowered my sugar intake. And when I lowered my sugar intake, over time, I started to notice that if I ever did put anything sweet in my mouth, it tasted extra sweet. You know what I'm talking about? Like, if you don't have sugar for a while and then you eat something that has sugar in it, it is like jarring how sweet it is, because you have detoxed from the sugar. And so now when you are exposed to the thing, you are actually experiencing it in its real true form, and not the dulled down form, the calloused over form that you had been experiencing it as because you were in it, right? So in the same way that I developed a hypersensitivity to sugar, to the point that right now there are things that I used to drink, like, for example, a Vitamalt. Love a Vitamalt, kill a Vitamalt, love a Vitamalt. Drinking a straight Vitamalt right now, it's so sweet. Now I still drink it. I'll break my keto fast every 6 months or so for a Vitamalt, I will. But I have learned to water it down with a little Perrier. Don't judge me, Caribbean people, I gotta do what I gotta do. The whole point is, I've developed a sensitivity to the true version of the thing because I stepped back from it. That was a long way to get there, but hopefully that helps somebody. In the same way, I have developed for myself a sensitivity to a truer version of certain things in my life, relationally, things I was doing. Sorry, my son there's a monitor for my son if you hear a noise. He's downstairs, I'm about to go. Anyway, things I was doing, people I was interacting with, relational choices, choices for my business, choices for my body, choices for my mind, choices for my spirit. I'm going to turn him down, you guys. Give me 1 second. Choices that I was making that when I was in it, sorry, he's playing his game. When I was in it, I didn't notice how sweet it was, how destructive it was, how it was affecting my spirit, my mind, my body. And so, let me wrap this up because he's downstairs playing his game and he's going to be loud. I just want to tell you guys that some things are going to stay gone. Just like I'm probably never going to eat a large amount of sugar in my life ever again. That's just not going to be how I live my life. Just like I'm relatively certain that for the rest of my life, I am never going to put a relaxer in my hair again. I'm not saying I'd never wear my hair straight. I'm just saying I would wear it straight in a different fashion. There's heat and they sell hair. Okay, probably never going to put that chemical on my head ever again. That's my choice. I have found that there are some things that I actually would have never noticed they were having these detrimental and negative effects on me if God had not forced me to stop and pause and detox from them. And it's a beautiful thing. Let me tell y'all this. It's a beautiful thing. I'm excited about it, okay? I'm excited about it so much so that I'm realizing that it's okay to consider stopping and pausing anything in my life that I want to vet and get away from. Let me tell you something very powerful that a therapist told me. I think it was last year, might have been last year, and it has stuck with me, and then I'm going to run off because clearly my son, and I want to do this laundry. She mentioned to me that when you come into your own house, there is a smell in your house and you don't notice it because you're you and you don't notice the smell, right? However, if you go to another person's house, your grandmother, your friend, whatever, there's a smell in their house and you notice it because it's unfamiliar to you. You notice it because it's their smell, it's their atmosphere, and it's different, right? So you are keen to pick up on the different atmosphere. But then say, come back to your house again. You don't notice the smell in your house. You don't notice it because you are in it. You are creating it. You are it. And so it's hard to notice the smell in the room that you are sitting in and sleeping in and living in and creating. Okay, this kid is downstairs screaming when I'm trying to be deep, but y'all understand what I'm saying. Okay, it's the same thing. It was hard for me to notice the smell in the room in certain attributes, events, places, relationships, and choices in my life because I was steeped in it. I was sitting in it and I was helping to create it. And now because I've detoxed from it, forced detox, I notice the smell. And some of the things don't smell that good. They're too sweet. And they affect me in a detrimental way, so much so that I'm going to choose to do exactly what I did with the sugar. I'm going to let them stay gone. So anyway, let me go because this got all lengthy because I was back there screaming when I was trying to be deep. Okay, I was trying to be deep. And I will see you guys in the next video. And until the next video, be well, be encouraged, okay? Here's a pineapple. Bye, y'all.